Hello everyone, I am Left, and today I want to go over with you guys the reasons and strategies and plans behind why Super Evil Megacorp decided to remove Halcyon Potions from Vainglory in Update 2.8. As you probably all know, in Update 2.8, Halcyon Potions were replaced. You can no longer buy them at the shop, you can no longer get them in practice, and they were replaced with what's called the Healing Flask. Now, the Healing Flask is a item that is similar in nature to the Halcyon Potion, but it's definitely not quite the same. When you activated a Halcyon Potion, it went on a 25-second cooldown, and over a short amount of time, it recovered your health and your energy by a little bit per second. The Halcyon Potion was inexpensive at 25 gold a pop, but the Healing Flask costs 300 gold. You also start with one in your inventory by default. So what makes these two items so different is A, their cost, B, what they do, and C, their cooldown. The cost is what we've just went over. The Halcyon Potion costs 25 and the Healing Flask costs 300. But there's a fundamental difference in how these two items work. The cooldown on the Healing Flask is immense compared to the Halcyon Potion. The Halcyon Potion only had a 25-second cooldown. The Healing Flask, however, goes for over a minute, but not quite 2 minutes. I don't have it off the top of my head. However, this is compensated by the Healing Flask actually giving you a slight barrier when you use it and recovering much more health upon using it. If you are like a level 2 Celeste and you're on like 1/3 health, you pop your Healing Flask, you're gonna be back to full by the time the Healing Flask is done. Also worth noting is that the Healing Flask stays active for much shorter time than the Halcyon Potion did. Now, you probably also have seen that they took away they nerfed and took away certain sustainability mechanics in the game. The healing of the Book of Eulogies, Barb Needle, and Serpent's Mask passive were all nerfed. The heal from Eve of Harvest, I believe, was also nerfed a little bit. Not completely sure on that one, though. Lyra, Adagio, and Grace all had their respective heals nerfed. Now, why is this? Another thing, oh, wait, before I go on, the Treant heal was actually, I believe, buffed? Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure the Treant heal was buffed. So why is this? And the answer is that Super Evil want to push a theme in the game. They want to push a divide between what's called battle readiness and good farming and sustainability. Battle readiness across the game means that most fights are going to be happening when all of the parties involved are at full health. SCMC wants there to be more of a consequence when you make the wrong decision and take damage. Before, you could just say, hey Lyra, sigil please, or you could go back and take a healer camp, the Treant, and then you could come right back into the fight and be battle ready again. With all of these nerfs to the Book of Eulogies, to Lyra, Adagio, and Grace, no more Halcyon Potions, you don't have that small little bit of healing on a short cooldown. With the nerfs to that, what it does is it punishes players that consistently make poor decisions and end up just being bailed out by healing. Therefore, they don't feel like they're making poor decisions because they are always going to be bailed out by healing. Now that that healing is either lessened or just not there at all, there is going to be a significant increase in how good you have to be at just general decision making on the Halcyon Fold. You can't have your cake and eat it too anymore. You have to choose. Do you want to always be battle ready, or do you always want to have as much farm as you possibly can? Or do you really need to get that last minion, or is it really worth taking a shot from the enemy laner because your Healing Flask is on cooldown and your Lyra's sigil really doesn't do that much anymore? So another thing that I wanted to mention is the nerfs to poke heroes in Update 2.8. Heroes like Scarf, Celeste, and Kestrel all received nerfs to their quote-unquote poke abilities. Kestrel's Glimmer Shots were down from 160% ratio to 140. Celeste's Heliogenesis, Initial Impact, and Supernova received quite a nerf. Scarf's Spitfire received quite a nerf on the damage end. And at first everyone was all talking about this like it was the end of the world. Oh no, what will we ever do? Who will stop me now from spamming Scarf in the jungle to get to Vainglorious? But as I pointed out on the Vainglory community forums the day of update 2.8, there's a reason, and a good reason, why they decided to do this. And that reason is, when healing and sustain is nerfed, poke has to be nerfed as well. They're two sides of the same coin, in my opinion. So the thing that sustain was designed to help is against poke. If that Kestrel is just raining glimmer shots down on your turret and you keep getting caught in the way as a low range Vox, you're going to need your healer to come bail you out every once in a while. So if that healer is going to be doing less heal than she was before, wouldn't it make sense that the poke needs to be less than it was before, or else you're going to have a very disproportionate power distribution in the game? Kestrel's poke was already pretty unbearable if she got a Shatterglass at level 6. With the reduction of certain sustainability like Book of Eulogies and Lyra's Imperial Sigil, it would have just become flat out overpowered, and there would have been no two ways about it. So what this results in is that it's not going to feel like Celeste, Scarf, and Kestrel got the respective nerfs that they did. You're almost going to feel the exact same, because the enemy is not going to always be able to go right back up to full health now because of a Lyra or Adagio or a Grace. So, while yes, you are doing less damage in the raw numbers game, they're getting less heals, so it almost equals out in pretty much all. I have no idea what happened there, but somebody just called me apparently. And now my recording bar is red, and I don't know what that means. But back to what I was talking about. So, you have this, you have this big change in update 2.8 that it really speaks to what Super Evil wants to do with Vainglory going forward, and I think maybe even speaks to something they want to start doing going into 5v5 mode. And that is making it harder and more demanding to be doing the correct decision-making actions in the game. So I think I touched on this earlier, but say you are a Vox, and there's this minion. It's out in the lane, like right in the middle. You're facing a Celeste. You're on about 1/4 health. She's completely full. There's this minion that's about to get killed by the big minion from the other team, and you really want to go grab it. Now, is there a Cruel in the enemy bush? You don't know, but you know that you really want that minion. Turns out there's not a Cruel in the enemy bush, but as soon as you go to get that minion, Celeste steps up on you and starts dealing damage. Now, you're one hit from death, pushed under your own turret trying to kill the minions before the turret can. But this is kind of hard when you're a low level Vox. You wish that your Lyra could be up here to heal you. You made a bad decision, and now that healers have been nerfed, you're not always going to be able to be bailed out for it. The inadvertent purpose of healers when they were added was to basically to alleviate bad decision making. Did your Cruel accidentally go for the wrong engage and just barely make it out alive? He's only alive because of the healer. If there was an Arden or a Catherine on his team, he would be dead right now and being punished for his bad decisions. But a hero like Lyra is there to alleviate her teammates' bad decision making through healing. Now that Lyra, Adagio, and Grace heal less, those poor decisions are going to have more consequences. Now, they would have insane consequences if poke heroes had not been nerfed, but since poke heroes were nerfed, we are going on what I would say is a smooth curve from less intensive decision making in competitive matches to more intensive decision making in ranked matches that actually has, a effect on how the game goes, if you know what I mean at all. So I guess as a conclusion or a summary, in update 2.8, the focus is shifting from just pure mechanics and full team fighting to the actual individual decisions that you make on the Halcyon Fold. Each decision that you make, whether it's engaging, dodging damage, taking damage, tanking for your team, those decisions are going to have a much greater effect going forward than they did before, due to the reductions of healing, the removal of the Halcyon Potion, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. Check out my social media links in the description, and I'll see you all later.